start the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
A while back, I found myself in a heated debate where someone threw a question my way that really got me thinking. Do I think the NSO for the Nintendo Switch 2 was actually worth it? At first glance, based on a quick overview they gave me, I confidently said yes. I thought it sounded like a solid deal, but the truth is I never took the time to dig deeper. I responded based on a surface level summary, not with any real first-hand experience or in-depth research. And let's be honest, when it comes to something as big as Nintendo's online subscription services, especially for a console as beloved as the Switch, you owe it to yourself to get all the facts before making a judgment. So I decided to just do that. Today I'm going to take a comprehensive no-holds-barred look at what NSO on the Switch 2 actually offers. We'll break down each component of the service, weigh its strengths and weaknesses, and most importantly, decide if it's worth your hard-earned money. So buckle up, let's see if this subscription that truly enhances the Switch 2 experience, or if it's just another overhyped digital pass that falls short. Let's start at the beginning with the NES library. This is the backbone of any Nintendo retro service, and the Switch 2 NOS gives you 97 titles. That number alone sounds promising, but what really matters is the quality of those titles. Nintendo didn't skimp here. You get all the classics that define the early days of gaming. Duck Hunt, the original Super Mario Bros. Trilogy, Donkey Kong Jr., and even Earthbound Beginnings, also known as Mother in Japan, which is a cult classic that doesn't get nearly enough recognition. It's clear Nintendo aimed to deliver a comprehensive NES experience that spans everything from iconic platformers to quirky hidden gems. From everything I've researched, this appears to be the complete library of NES games that Nintendo actually owns the rights to, with nothing significant held back. For fans of 8-bit nostalgia or newcomers curious about gaming roots, this collection delivers real value. It's a strong foundation for the NOS service and sounds Nintendo understands the importance of honoring their legacy. Now here's where things start to fall apart. The Game Boy library, you get 39 titles, which might sound reasonable at first glance, but here's the problem. Where are the damn Pokemon games? I'm not just talking about any games here, I'm talking about red, blue, yellow, gold, and silver. The very games that put the Game Boy on the map. These titles didn't just sell well, Pokemon Gen 1 alone moved over 46 million copies worldwide. These games weren't just hits, they were the cultural phenomenon that defined childhoods for millions, if not billions, of players worldwide. Yet none of these fundamental titles made it onto the NOS lineup. This omission isn't minor, it's a glaring hole in an otherwise decent collection. Imagine a retro service for PlayStation that left out Final Fantasy VII or Sega Collection missing Sonic the Hedgehog. It just doesn't make sense. Without Pokemon, the Game Boy section feels like a watered-down, incomplete offering. It's missing the games that carried the platform and helped Nintendo maintain its dominance during the handheld era. For me, this is a deal breaker. I simply can't recommend paying for this section as it currently stands. Moving on to the Super Nintendo section, this is where Nintendo starts to shine again. With 80 games available, the service really leans into the classics that define the 16-bit generation. You've got Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3, Super Mario World, Super Metro, Earthbound, and many more titles that shaped an entire generation of gamers. This collection feels truly comprehensive, covering a wide range of genres, platformers, RPG, action, and more. The Super Nintendo library taps into the perfect balance of nostalgia and gameplay quality. Whether you grew up playing these games or you're a younger gamer discovering them for the first time, the collection hits all the right notes. This part of the NSO is absolutely worth it. It's how you do a retro library service right. Next up, the Nintendo 64 section, you've got 35 titles here, which on the surface seems respectable. You've got undeniable heavy hitters like Super Mario 64, GoldenEye 007, Star Fox 64, and Mario Kart 64. These games help define the transition into 3D gaming and were system sellers. And then you look closer and notice some very important omissions. Super Smash Bros. Is nowhere to be found. Donkey Kong 64, Diddy Kong Racing, Conker's Bad Fur Day are all missing. These games were more than just popular, they were a core part of what made the N64 memorable and beloved. Leaving these out feels like a slap in the face to fans and collectors. It hurts the overall value of the service and makes the N64 collection feel incomplete. For a retro subscription that aims to be definitive, these gaps are unexcusable. Now we head back to the handhelds. With the Game Boy Advance, you get 35 titles including some fantastic games like Metroid Fusion, The Legend of Zelda, The Minish Cap, and WarioWare. These titles demonstrate the depth and quality that the GBA era offered. But here we go again. The most important games are missing. The Pokemon titles that dominated the GBA sales charts. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, and Leaf Green are nowhere to be found. The GBA was a critical success for Nintendo and a pivotal platform that kept their handheld business thriving through the early 2000s. Without including Pokemon, these parts of the service feels hollow, incomplete, and lacking the punch it desperately needs. Until these games are added, the GBA section simply can't be considered a worthwhile component of the NOS. Finally, we reached the GameCube section, where the newest additions to the NOS lineup. Right now, there's only 4 titles: The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, F-Zero GX, Soul Calibur 2, and Super Mario Strikers. Is that enough? Absolutely not. There are some huge names missing: Metro Prime, Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door, Luigi's Mansion, and critically Super Smash Bros. Melee. However, because this section just launched, I'm willing to cut Nintendo some slack for now. This is a promising start, but it's only that, a start. If Nintendo keeps adding more GameCube titles over time, this could be a major selling point for the NOS, and I know that they are adding a lot more titles later on. For now, it's a small but high quality sample that shows potential. So how do we sum this up? For $50 a year, you get access to around 285 titles spanning all these classic systems, but numbers alone don't tell the whole story. How we fix the NOS is like this. What really drags the value down are the glaring omissions, especially the lack of the Pokemon games on both the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance sections. These weren't just any games, they were the lifeblood of the Nintendo handheld success during an era when the N64 and GameCube struggled to dominate. The Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance carried Nintendo through tough times, and without their success, the Switch 2 might not even exist. To omit these iconic games from a subscription meant to celebrate Nintendo's history is a huge missed opportunity. While the NES, Super Nintendo, and some parts of the N64 and GameCube collections offer real value, the overall package feels incomplete and lacking the punch that would make it a truly worthwhile. Until Nintendo adds those essential titles, especially the Pokemon games that defined entire generations, I can in good conscience say the NOS for Switch 2 is worth paying for. They have the rights, the technology, and the platform to deliver an unmatched retro gaming experience. Now they just need to follow through. Whatever you do, don't pay for this service unless those missing cornerstone games are included. Wait for the Nintendo to listen to the community and deliver the full definitive experience retro fans deserve. And now it's time to read off the members of the channel. We got Koros Objective, Maximilian Pegasus 88, Mad Fox 94, Watari, Shade Milkman, Oh No Is Justin, Brian Payne, Jay Wesby 65, Andy Ritz, Sea Stars Piplup, Cam, and Austrius Lane. Thank you so much for becoming part of the crew. And if you truly enjoy this content, why don't you think about becoming a member? It's only $1 a month. You get special emotes, badges, and you get a shout out at the end of each video until it becomes too long, and then it'll be turned into a credit roll. And also, I got an awesome merch lined up for you guys. I got amazing shirts, hoodies, I got coffee mugs, I got desk mats, I got a bunch of different kinds, so why don't you check it out also. And please like, share, and subscribe, and until next time guys, stay vigilant.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hard